Welcome back to Western New York Tonight. I'm your host, Tammie Lee. Also welcome those listening on WLNF. Joining me, Jamie Shaner. If you missed the first segment, we were talking about small business development, and now we're shifting on to Jamie, who's the owner of Home Solutions of Western New York. She's been on plenty of times. She's one of the favorite guests. She's so busy. I'm so glad she took the time to spend a little bit with us.
I love coming here.
We love it. So we're going to do a demonstration because I asked you for one because it helps us really put into practice what you're describing that you do so well. So I'm going to let you set this scene for us, and
okay.
I'm imagining my tax piles right now.
So this time of year is a time when people are either gathering papers for tax time or clearing out folders or just literally dealing with piles that are gathered throughout the house.
Yes, yes.
So a couple things I'll show you first off. So people that tend to like to make piles of things, recipes, decorating ideas, trips they want to take, anything that you rip out of a magazine or print off the internet, instead of keeping it in piles, I tell people just a simple 3-ring binder.
Okay.
You take a 3-ring binder and you make little tabs and you put your stuff in here. So in this case, this is an example of a recipe book. So you make a cookbook with all the recipes that you're cutting out. So when it's time to make the beef Wellington for your husband's birthday because he requested it for a special meal, you don't have to look through a 6-inch pile of papers. You just go to your little tab and you find it. Mm-hmm. If you're looking for where's that information on that trip we wanted to take to Aruba or whatever, you have a binder for travel ideas. You have a binder for decorating ideas. A picture that you love for that you want to redo your bedroom. Or
That's
whatever.
a good idea because right now it's torn out and who's going to find it
in
again?
A pile. Or it's in the magazine. So that's the other thing. So many times I go into a home and people will have literally a 3-foot pile of magazines because each one has one thing that they want in it.
I learned that a long time ago that you rip it out at least.
Rip it out,
get rid of the rest.
But then what do you do with it? So this is an easy way to wrangle those loose papers that you have for all the things you like to save. So that's that.
I love
Scrapbooking, crafting ideas, crafty people.
So on there, what does
paper.
the front of that say? I just want to see what you
This
have there.
just says, bring your chaotic piles. Bring order to your chaotic piles of anything. Recipes, home decor, vacation, newspaper clippings, restaurant takeout menus.
So don't feel bad about having those things. It's just put them in some usable
So
shape.
you can find what you want when you want it.
I love it.
Okay, so that's number one for random paper wrangling. Then the other thing is all the manuals that we have for all the things that we buy, instead of having them
paperwork.
Right. So you get a little accordion folder. You make a tab for every room of your house and every person in your house. So let's say your husband's a golfer. So all of his golf, things that might be really there. So when the refrigerator breaks down or the kid's Xbox thing stops working, you go in here, you find. So when you buy something that you're keeping a manual for, make a note, the date you bought it, maybe staple the receipt, and it's all here. So when you're looking for it, it's one thing. You don't have to keep a big file cabinet full. I keep mine on a shelf in the basement. So I know where to go when I want it, but everything is in there.
So do you have a process of kind of moving those things out? So
every once in a while I'll sit down with it. So for me, honestly, I'll take it up when I'm going to sit on the bed and rest my back and watch TV. I'll grab it and just cull through it. So I'll, there's the iron that broke last month and I bought a new one. So pull out the old iron, booklet or whatever it might be.
That's a perfect solution.
It's just, and it's simple. It's easy. It's doable. It's affordable. It's people think you have to spend a lot of money to get organized, but
it's not. So how did you come up with these ideas? I always wonder when
I'm just so smart, Tammie.
Because you are so smart, but it's like I wouldn't have. I honestly have a big file cabinet, and that's like stuff in there.
I don't know how to do an interview show.
Okay, well you can take my job. I'll swap out with you. But that's an excellent idea.
So that's another thing.
Okay.
So then the next thing we have is the incoming mail and the papers that will never stop. So there's no way for me to jazz up and beautify processing the mail. There's nothing. It's tedious.
It's not sexy at all.
Not even a titch. I can't sex it out. Well, maybe I could. But
that's the 11 o'clock show.
Perfect. So what I try to do is simplify it and streamline it. So that's what I do for people.
But it's good.
So the first thing I tell people is one place where the incoming mail lives. So it doesn't live on the kitchen counter, the dining room table, the stairs by the front door where it comes in, wherever. One place where it lives until you're ready to deal with it. So when you are ready to deal with it, you don't have to run around gathering it up. The other thing I tell people is, it might take you 10 minutes a day to open and process the daily mail. If you don't do it every day, at the end of a 6-day mail week, now you've got 60 minutes of
A
mail.
vacation load worth of stuff.
If
like
you
when you get
wait
back.
2 weeks, now you've got 2 hours of mail. And the longer you wait, the more daunting it becomes, the less you want to deal with it. So dealing with it every day for 10 minutes is really a lot easier than postponing it
For sure.
and having the Jaws music play when it's time to
Why
sit
are
down.
people so resistant to that? Because it's interesting. We process our mail because I want to know what it is, and I right away. Like it doesn't go any further. It's just disseminated right away. I don't understand the tendency to avoid it because there's something important probably in there at some point.
And sometimes there's not, but the sooner you get rid of the not. So when you're ready to process the mail, then I next to my desk I have 2 baskets always, recycle and shred. So when I open up a piece of mail, a little handy dandy Home Solutions mail slitter, I open up a piece of mail, right away I drop the envelope in the recycle bin. It's done. I don't want to have to pick it up again. Because if I set it down, I have to pick it up again and say, what is it? So right away I drop it in there. So this is a donation thing. No, actually this is a solicitation. They want to give me money. I don't want them to give me money. So, and there's nothing confidential on here. So in that case, I'm going to drop it in the recycle bin. If there was something confidential on there.
What about just your address and name?
It's not confidential.
You don't worry about that?
I don't,
Okay.
but I tell people to your comfort level.
Because it could just easily go into the shred anyways.
Right, it could go into the shred. So if it were a credit card offer, like this one's a credit card offer, so which everybody gets them every day. So the first thing I do, I open it up, the envelope goes in recycle, the return envelope goes in recycle, the hoopla about the legal hoopla that's nothing personal, recycle, but the offer itself goes into shred because this does have information. This is an offer for me. So this I put into the shred basket.
And Consumer Credit actually has said, I don't know if you've ever watched Lisa on my show, but she said that they've done studies kind of on their informal basis that a ripped up thing taped together even with coffee stains was enough to get that credit card through.
So I put those in the shred. So whatever it is, again, according to, I have some clients who they want to shred everything with their name and address. And I say, and I think I've said this before on your show, my dad would shred everything with his name and address. And I would say, Dad, there's a sign in front of your house that says your name and your address. It's posted on the light post. It's not a secret. There's nothing confidential about it.
They're not going to steal anything.
No. So again,
well, the other part too of minimizing shredding, and I don't want to steal your thunder, but you, I think, have commented that some people end up with these shred piles that are insurmountable because you have to then shred that, right? That's another task.
Or you can take it because you can take it to a shredding site, you can take it to a shredding event, you can take it. Most mail centers now, UPS stores and mailing centers will shred, and they charge by the pound, and it's a reasonable thing. So you could take a liquor box size of shredding and probably spend $10 to $15 to get it shred.
Well worth it.
Money well worth it.
Yes, because to stand there and shred
I shred very little myself because I tell people put a dollar value on your time. And do you want to shred for 3 hours and burn out a shredder?
Do they show you the shredding? Because my mom would be like, did they really shred it? My mom loves you. My mom loves you, by the way, and so I'm sure she watched. She's very skeptical that box will actually be shred.
Yes.
So you have to have trust.
You do, but they're very regulated in how the procedures. So when you're opening and processing your mail, you then have to, so anything that, the recycle and shred, you get rid of right away because I don't want to touch it again. This other thing, now let's just look at this. Oh gosh, look, the Shaner, look at how efficient we are.
Are you doing better than your neighbors?
We are. It's
I'm
the first
always
time
the worst.
ever.
I'm worse than my neighbors.
I don't know how this happened, but we're better. So I might save one of these and frame it. But
Gold star.
Normally I would just put that in the recycle bin because it's like yay me.
Right.
But so then once you're processing something, then the things that you need to do things with need a home as well, because it doesn't mean because you got a bill in the mail that right that minute you're going to sit down and write the check. So you have a folder that says to pay, a folder that says to file.
Show that because people aren't going to be able to see. I mean, it's nicely labeled,
so
of course.
Let's do this. So we got bills to pay. I drop them in a folder because I only write checks twice a month. To file, we just changed insurance companies for our car and home. So I've got 4,000 things from the new insurance company.
So that you need to file.
So they need to file, but I might not do it right that day that I open it, but I drop it in my to be filed folder. So when I'm ready to file, I just have one folder and I put everything where it goes. Then we got things to do. Okay, maybe I have to make a follow-up phone call. Maybe I have to schedule an appointment. Maybe I have to cancel a subscription, whatever. But I might not do it right that day, but instead of setting it back down somewhere, so I have to pick it back
And
up
think
and
about
figure
it
out,
again.
I know what I have to do, so things to do. And then pending, maybe I've ordered something based on, maybe I got my J. Jill catalog and I'm going to order something, and so now or I send in a wine rebate and I'm waiting for the $2
come back,
to come back. So that's in my pending. So they need periodic review, but they all have a home. I know what they are. So when I'm ready to deal with it, it's not a pile of unknowns.
Do it. Okay. We're going to take our break and we're going to come back and talk more about these things. But before we go, website for you and a telephone number so people can find you.
Home Solutions is www.homesolutionswny.com. Phone number 716-984-4841.
Perfect. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Plenty of time for you to Google Jamie's website. We'll be back with more tips in just a few.